Number 1.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Number 4.
Number 5.
Number 6.
All of us here are pet owners, and most of us have cats, some of us more than others. We all know cats have sharp claws, so it's very important to keep them trimmed. Now, there are 3 basic reasons why you should do this. Number 1 is to prevent injury to your cat. Cornell University's College of Veterinary Medicine has a website called Partners for Animal Health, and on that website is a clip about trimming cats' claws, and it tells us that the claws can actually grow around and poke into the cat's pad, which Mom and Pat have experience with. Now, the second reason is to prevent damage to your furniture. We all know cats like to claw, and that can be very detrimental to your sofa. Third reason is to prevent damage to you. We've all had cat scratches. So the question is, why do you want to do this yourself rather than paying a professional to do it? Well, first, that can be very expensive, especially for multi-cat households. Second, taking car rides can be very traumatic to your cats and upsetting to them. And third, the so-called professionals don't actually always do a good job, like that time they cut Dinky's claws with dull clippers and crushed them. So to get started, you will need to gather your supplies. First, you will need some trimmers, a styptic, and some sort of restraint. Now for your trimmers, you have a choice of 3 basic types. There's the guillotine type, and then there are human nail clippers, and my personal favorite are these scissor type ones. Now whichever type you use, make sure the blades are sharp and never dull. The U.S. Humane Society tells us that dull blades can crush the cat's claws, which can cause pain and bleeding. So for your styptic, I have it in a pencil format. It also comes as a powder. Now, if you can't find any of those, you can also use flour, cornstarch, or a bar of soap in a pinch. For your restraint, they do make products that are actually like a straitjacket for your cat, or you can wrap them in a towel, or my personal favorite, have an assistant to help you, which is safer all around. Carrie, if you could bring Kuma up here, please. Before you get started with the actual clipping, you want to examine all 4 of the cat's paws. Check for any kind of split claws, any wounds, anything the cat reacts badly to you touching. And you also want to note the location of the dew claw, which is not in line with the other claws. It's down here kind of like a thumb, so you don't want to miss it when you're clipping. Now, a cat's back claws, they aren't as sharp as the front claws, and some cats chew them down. So if your cats aren't particularly sharp, you may not actually need to cut those. So, to get started, you will hold the cat's paw, and using your thumb and forefinger, extend the claw. Now you can see here the pink part, that is the quick, that's where the blood is. If you cut into that, it would bleed, which you would need your styptic for. Now if you do that, don't panic. It's not all that damaging. It will bleed, but it can usually stop on its own, or you can use your styptic. Now, Washington State University's College of Veterinary Medicine tells us that you should cut within about 2 millimeters of the quick. That translates to about right here where the claw starts to curve. Okay, now you just repeat that process for each claw. And I have already finished those claws here, but you'll want to check when you're done. Make sure you didn't miss any. And after you've done that, you are done. Do I have any questions?
Yes. Couldn't the back claws also curve around and poke into their pads?
Well, that's why it's important for you to examine all of their paws before you start. You know, see if that's happening so that you can do that if you need to.
Okay. How old's the cat?
Well, this is Kuma. He is 10 years old, born in 2001. I got him in 2002. He's our senior citizen.
I got one. What do you do when you have cats that's got real furry feet? You know, medium or long hair?
Well, all I can say about that is that just make sure you have another person to help you, because you will have to dig the claw out of the fur. You can try to trim this fur in here, but that's dangerous and you're not likely to get the cat to sit still long enough for you to trim it all. Alright,
Everybody say their number again.
Number 1.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Number 4.
Number 5. Number 6. I think you didn't mention about how